All right,
Happy
now it's on, crazy lady.
Happy Sunday from the Streeter backyard.
So we just went on a little adventure. See, we got this little fence that was around our patio. We got this huge long patio area. So, on these planters, and there's all this fence because they have a dog door. They had a little dog, and if you see in the yard, there's all these sections of fence. And we were like, when we bought the house and moved in, we're like, we'll see how it goes. And we've been talking for 8 months now about how it needs to go.
Well, they had some big.
They had these ginormous freaking
They
plants in
were
here,
like cannas or something like that. They were like 5 feet tall. So
and we just didn't have the time to maintain them.
we wanted to know what they look like.
And their flowers were okay, but then the leaves would get brown. It's Texas, it gets hot as hell.
Yeah.
So we decided they need to go. So we pulled all those last weekend. We're like, are we going to plant something? What are we going to do? And we've been talking literally since we moved in about getting rid of the fence.
Right. So,
So-
Mr. Streeter gets a wild hair.
Well, Erica's folks came in Saturday,
Yeah.
spent the day with us. We had a great time. Spent the night. Took Allie up. Her dad's a big golfer. Here, our video sucks because here you're looking at part of me. And so anyhow, Allie took him up to the golf course this morning. They hit some balls. But I talked to her dad about, I've probably talked to him twice now, and they don't come in very often. But how we eventually were going to get rid of this. And then they got up early and they went and hit balls. I don't know, about 8:30. They're like, all right, we're gonna hit the road. And I came out here and I was like, we pulled the cannas last weekend, so I started working the ground up because I was trying to get as many bulbs up as we could.
Because they might come back. So I stacked them up.
So I looked at Crazy Lady, Erica, and I said, hey, I think we can take this fence out. And that's about the reply I got. She's like, what? So I'm like, yeah, my Sawzall, I can cut a section out, and then I only got to worry about. They did a good job. Every one of those square metal posts on the fence was concreted in, and we started at the far end, and they used the form like you should. It was great for like 4 of them, and then I got to this corner, and they didn't use the form anymore, and the concrete got bigger, and I got to the last 2 over there, and there's a little sidewalk that leads to the shed. And there was a post right there in that corner. They didn't use the form, they didn't use shit. They poured like 6 bags of concrete. It's under the thing. So, I do have a Bosch rotary hammer. So, the first 3 or 4 were like, I'm like, we'll just dig it up and I'll use the other end as my lever, like 8th grade physics. Like, I'll pick it up and loosen it up and pull it out. 4 weeks after surgery. Eric's like, your doctor would be thrilled. Like, we're not talking to the doctor. I'm fine. I pulled the first 3 out like nobody's business. Got to the corners, a little more work. Got to the last 2 in this little section. The section of fence is 4 feet long, and it's got like 8 bags of concrete. Not a bag and a half a hole, like 4 bags per hole.
Yeah, he worked on it for like an hour.
Erica comes out here. She's eating a sandwich. I'm like, no.
I was gonna make him a sandwich.
But we got it all out. We're leaving the corner because the girls put their bikes over there, and we think that'll be fine. But it's really opened things up. But
we're gonna get rid of this other part.
In the process of doing this, my brain's always going. And I do watch some of these. I watch Gary Vee. I watch Ed Milet, and a couple other motivational guys that have made multiple millions, if not billions of dollars. I don't know, some of the stuff that they spew is a little bit over the top. But I watched Ed Milet talk about growing up with like alcoholic father and starting with nothing. And he's talked about he hangs out with friends that he's known for 30 and 40 years. And he talks about wealth. It's not all fucking money. Can you do this shit? Can you come out here and do this? He appreciates that shit. Like, and I'm like, I can do this. I think Erica thought I was crazy.
I knew when he said we're gonna do half of it today and half of it next weekend. I was like, there's no way in hell he's gonna do half of it. It's gonna all get done. Like, I know you. Like, it's gonna get done. And 2.5 hours later, it was out. We are at a stopping point. We're gonna get rid of the rest of this, and like,
We're gonna rent a trailer to hook behind her little SUV to take it all to the landfill.
yeah. And
Unless
then
we can find somebody who wants to recycle it in the next week.
put
And
grass
I
in.
will put a message out there. If somebody wants to recycle the steel, I know a couple places in Dallas that may take the steel.
Hmm.
They might pay us for it. They might pay for the rental of the trailer. I'll look into that because we used to take stuff there when I installed hot tubs years ago. But the whole wealth part of this deal is, it's not all about dollars and cents. It's not all about big houses. It's not all about fancy cars. It's, can you do this? Can you get up and in 2.5 hours tear this shit? Are you healthy? Are you physically able to do it? That's a whole different realm of wealth. Because you can do that, you can make a shitload of money. Like, and I think people don't think about it that way. Again, if you ask Allie and Sarah, the 16 and 13-year-old, about wealth, they'd be like, well, you gotta be rich. It's a bonus, but
Can you take something out?
can you do some hardcore physical labor?
And be happy with what you did.
And
Like,
and,
it's
and I'm not
very
saying
rewarding.
you look at it and go, I got it done.
Right.
20 years ago, I probably could have done it in 20 less minutes. Like, I'm not getting any younger, but I know many people in our age group that have been like, I'm going to pay somebody to do that. I got too much pride for that shit. Fuck, I'm going to do it. And like, we'll take half of it out. No, I'm just going to keep going. So she's like, you want a sandwich? I'm like, no, I'm not quitting until I'm done. But I also think that takes a special kind of mentality that a lot of people don't have anymore. I think 50, 60 years ago, it was different.
Yeah.
Like,
We wanted it done today, so guess what?
well, and this will go on our YouTube thing, and
You
I'll
and I
post
did.
it to Facebook, and I got friends that still do this shit. My friend Joe, the truck driver, he'd be like, yep. and several others will be like, yep. And then I'm sure there's several of the rest of you that'll be like, I'd have paid somebody to do that shit. And we could have paid somebody to do that shit, but I'd rather buy car parts. Turbos and cams.
And we had the time to do it, so.
So, well, and it's just satisfying. Like, I remember years ago when I was super young, well, at least super young for me at this point. I was out of college. College didn't do shit for me. That's a whole nother story. But like, I was working for Discount Tire, and I worked with these Albanian guys. And then I left Discount, and eventually I started my own business, and I needed some, and I ran into one of the guys that fucking changed tires out back when I was an assistant manager, and he was a manager of a store, which at the time in life for him and myself was, I mean, they take care of their people. It's a pretty big deal in Anton. Albanian guy, Anton, he's like, I'm like, dude, how you doing? He's like, fuck, man. I worked my ass off. I made good money. He's like, but I think about my dad. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we moved here from Albania. My dad was a janitor for GM. He pushed the broom, and the shit behind him was clean. And they made it dirty, and he did it again. But he's like, Eric, he did his job, and it was immediate satisfaction.
Yeah. It's kind of like this.
Kind of like
Yeah.
this. And then you know, we all have these. You get these IT jobs or this big business, and the goal is this, and the goal is this, and it's hard to look back and go, huh, it's fucking clean, or the fence is fucking down. Like, people are too wound up in really big shit, and like, does it really matter? I don't know. Will I feel this tomorrow? Probably a little bit, but it won't stop me from doing my other job. that was also pretty physical.
You also worked out today.
Oh yeah, and we got done and then we worked out. Scaled down a little bit. And I was like, oh, fucking A. But I still worked out.
And most people probably would have said, hey, that's enough for today.
I was drenched. My hat was soaked. My shirt was soaked. It was dirty. My underwear was soaked. I mean, it's Texas, but it's not 100 degrees out today.
No, but his light gray shirt was dark gray. The whole thing. It was not, it's going into laundry tonight.
My faded jeans were pretty dark blue.
Yes, it's going into laundry tonight and not fermenting overnight.
Because it will stink otherwise.
Yeah, no.
And I know I'm a different animal from many of you. Probably a lot of you will watch this. It's like, I freaking love it.
So, do your part, do your thing.
But wealth is immeasurable, I think. If you can do stuff like this, I thought about it today, like my past, the lawn business that I had, the landscaping things that we did. I'm like, shit. I mean, in Dallas Fort Worth, if I advertised, I'll freaking tear fences down and take shit away. I could probably make way more money than what I do now if I wanted to do this kind of shit all day, every day, and it'd be very rewarding. I'm also smart enough to know that I'm
Too old to do this every day, all day, every day.
I could, but I would pay the price.
Right.
And I'm hoping if I live past 70 that she can retire and I can retire. Maybe we can travel and do some shit and enjoy that too. So that's another part of wealth. You got to be smart. I'm not saying I do this every day, but
Today it worked out.
well, and anybody wants to try and outwork me, bring it. I'm pretty proud and I'm pretty stubborn. So some of you younger cats might do it. Maybe some of you my age will do it, but it's not going to be an easy battle. Like,
And every time there's a project, oh, there's a new tool that I didn't know that we had.
I didn't buy a single tool today.
No, I know. But I didn't know that we had those little hammer things. I don't know what it was. That hammer tool.
The chisel.
Yeah. I was like, what is that?
She tried to tell me she's a country girl when we started dating. She didn't know what a chisel is. This is more proof that Vernon has way too many people. 10,000 plus. I think the village of Prescott had about 280.
Well,
And I live 8 or 9 miles from the village of Prescott. And that's another part of it. Part of this kind of stuff that I freaking love doing and enjoy, the end result is we didn't have a choice.
you had to do it.
We had to do it.
Yeah.
I grew up, this is what we got to do today. We're doing what? Yep, let's go. No matter what, I mean, just do it.
Like Nike said.
Long before Nike said that shit. We had a wonderful visit with Eric's parents.
It was fun. Fun weekend.
So, hope everybody had a good weekend. But yes, I guess my message in all of this is, well, don't measure it in money. Maybe measure it on what you can do. And if you can help somebody else by doing that kind of thing, that's pretty cool too. Josh Kane's wall, who helped him tear it down, that he built with 8 billion pieces of rebar and concrete. He called me. So,
Friends help each other. It's awesome.
well, and I love sweating. I really do. So, anyhow. Have a great Sunday. You got anything else?
No, that's about it.
That's it?
Just waiting on the shirts to come in.
Which is coming.
One
All
of
right.
these days.
Have fun.